you're a prisoner. You're not allowed to do that. You're to keep your mouth shut, and only in supermaxes are you not allowed to talk to the other prisoners. So you're in a supermax.
Exactly what's happening.
So the kid's got the cell phone. Gets kicked out, wants to go back inside the school just to get his jacket. And that's when the very upset principal tough guys him and tosses him around on the concrete. We got the video, guys? We're not there? We're not there yet? Okay. Here's another example of just outrageousness. Texas high schools staged cage fights between students, documents say. A Texas high school used cage fights to settle disputes among problem students. Internal investigation documents obtained by the Dallas Morning News allege this is out of South Oak Cliff High School, and they were having bare-knuckle fights, bare-knuckle brawls for problem students in cage fights from 2003 to 2005. In one case, a school hall monitor tried to battle a student in the cage. In that instance, Moten broke up the fight, according to the investigation.
The No Child Left Behind Act was developed in 2001 and established January 8, 2002. The gaming system is a system of incentives and penalties that motivate schools to alter test scores and lie about academic progression. Theoretically, this leads the public to believe that our standard of education is constantly improving. State testing. States possess the ability to make their standardized tests easier in order to receive higher test scores. Essentially, this leads to a less educated student body, while schools appear to increase in success. Elective education. Schools focus on the core studies of reading, writing, and mathematics, often being forced to cut electives, resulting in a loss of creativity and production from students. Federal control. The use of No Child Left Behind to further federal intrusion into our local communities, often seizing power and choice from local school districts. Military recruitment. No Child Left Behind requires schools to provide contact information for every student to the military if requested, providing military recruiters the same access as academic recruiters like educational help programs in colleges. Constantly building America's military empire, starting with the foundation of youth. Schools constantly preach that your life should revolve around excelling in your studies, but many education experts contradict that statement.
Bush graduated from Yale with a mediocre score, and Bradley graduated from Princeton with a horrible score. One became a governor, the other a senator, and one's now the president. I guess you think Al Gore's an exception. No, he flunked out of college his freshman year, flunking 6 of the 7 courses he took. Why doesn't the New York Times put that in banner headlines on the front cover?
Maybe these elite men found a home in globalism and started using public schooling as an engineering mechanism for young minds.
If you can be a senator, a governor, a vice president, and a president with this horrible academic record, why can't you be anything else?
John Taylor Gatto, 3-time New York City Teacher of the Year, as well as New York State Teacher of the Year in 1991. Charlotte Iserby, former school board director, Camden, Maine. Iserby served as a senior policy advisor in the Office of Educational Research and Improvement during the first Reagan administration.
My name is Charlotte Thompson Iserby, and I served as senior policy advisor in the United States Department of Education under the Reagan administration, during which I had access to all of the most important documents for the restructuring of not only American education but global education. I was trained to identify the resistors. I was trained to identify those good people and to go up against them, and actually to go and try to get them to join us through the group process system. When I went and I saw that Americans were being trained to identify resistors, then I got pretty upset. And luckily, there was a big book that came with the in-service training called Innovations in Education, A Change Agent's Guide. And I was able to take that back home with me unbelievable examples of how to con the Christians and different people who are upset with what you're trying to do, how to bring them over to your side. Case studies, true case studies of educators who had put programs in that normally, you know, in a normal American town, nobody would want them. How did they manage to get them in? How did they con the people? And the other thing was, not only was I trained to identify the resistors, I was trained to go to the important people, high profile, highly thought of people in the community, with the Rotary, Chamber of Commerce, Garden Club, you name it, the different groups in our towns. Go to them and convince them of the importance of these new programs like sex ed, drug ed, I just mentioned all of them, and to get them on your side, because when you can get the leadership in a community to go along with it, then the newspaper comes in and says, you know, a committee's been set up with the head of the Rotary and this and that, and they're all getting behind this task force to discuss whether we're going to have a new sex education program.
Over the course of history, feds have been swooping in and running corrupt, covert operations to infiltrate the curriculum. Even some of our nation's most influential men cannot hide the flaws in the No Child Left Behind Act.
And I'll focus on a couple. Number one, I think the assessment tools that we're using to measure annual yearly progress are inadequate.
I believe that No Child Left Behind needs to be fixed, but it was a good beginning. Some of my Republican friends say you ought to just abandon it. Well, I think it was the right beginning. I didn't expect it to be perfect, and we found problems with it, and we ought to fix them. But it was the first time we had a chance to compare performance, and I promise you this is not my wife.
These men provide a facade of caring, while the No Child Left Behind Act is still killing creativity and intelligence like it was designed to do. Some of the education system's more common brainwashing techniques aren't so hidden. The footage you are about to witness is 2 different videos from separate schools where students are being pre-programmed to worship President Obama.
We must be fair today. Equal work means equal pay. Barack Hussein Obama. He said we must take a stand to make sure everyone gets a chance. Barack Hussein Obama.
Sand Hill Elementary School, Asheville, North Carolina.
Change has come. Change has come. Hope. Uniting blacks and whites. Hope. Being both Obama cannot take sides. Hope. Don't worry, said Hope, I will be your bridge. In time, hope will be the bridge for others. Hope will last enough for you to make a difference. Change has come. Change has come. Go now, fly free. Study, watch, learn. Keep your eyes open.
Does this concern you, that American school systems are using Hitler-esque, Nazi Germany-style indoctrination techniques? For Hitler we live, for Hitler we die. Our Hitler is our Lord, who rules a brave new world. Wait, new world? New world, or New World Order, is a term commonly used by globalists to describe one world government. A few years ago, I discovered a chapter in my school history book that detailed the New World Order. When I've mentioned a New World Order in school, the teachers and the faculty laugh. They literally call it a conspiracy. Even though it's been admitted, it's a conspiracy. But now I'm taking American history. Here's my book, American History. And as I was looking through it today in class, I came across something that we will be learning about. America in the New World Order. You can see that, I hope. 1970 to the present. They talk about how NAFTA is a big part of the New World Order. The one thing they should talk about is the NAFTA superhighway, but they don't dare mention that in our history books. They also try to promote the already failed war on drugs by saying it promotes extreme violence. And we all know that the war on drugs is a massive failure, but they're trying to drill it into kids' heads that it is being a success. Following the success of this viral video, I seized the opportunity to broadcast the truth about public schools on over 20 national and international radio programs.
Robert, good to have you back with us.
Yeah, glad to be back on, Alex.
You bet. Look, recap everything that's happened to you at this re-education camp.
We have a true info warrior youngster who educated himself and then took the initiative to educate others, Robert Wanek, on the line.
Our guest today is Rob Wanek, 15-year-old activist and patriot. He will be joining us after the first break.
This is James Corbett of the Corbett Report, and today I'm joined by Robert Wanek, a 15-year-old 9/11 truth activist and member of We Are Change Minnesota, who has become well known on YouTube for his take on injustice at the hands of his staff and faculty.